While you still can, turn this into this. Call the guys at Noble Gold, tell them High Impact Flicks sent you, and they'll take care of you. You guys enjoy the video.
Ashley!
My name is Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd is here!
I am a feminist.
It remains for me the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my lifetime. You know, raped as a child, bad. Re-raped by a political system that ordains a clown, really bad.
What the hell did you just say?
I'm going to ask you a question that I bet a great majority of you won't be able to answer correctly. What is the greatest minority in the world? I'll answer this at the end of the video. As you watch this, I want you to remember something. We're all human beings. You're not greater than me, and I'm not greater than you. Doesn't matter what our titles are, our positions, our perceived power, influence, or wealth. The only thing that should define us as human beings is our character, manifesting itself through our actions and interactions with others. That's it. No matter what you may believe about the man, I have yet to see an improvement on MLK's statement that a man should be judged not by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. I don't care who you are. Character is everything. A part of that character is honesty. If we're honest with ourselves, we have to admit that we approach life and bring to the table our own bias. We all look at life a little differently. We have different perspectives and experiences that led us to have that perspective in the first place. You may have a prejudice in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another. The question is your bias fair? Is it consistently just? Do you evenly apply your bias? For example, let's say you're for Hillary and Trump does something you think is unacceptable. If Hillary did a similar thing, would you be more inclined to give her a pass because you consider yourself part of her team? If you would, then you're a follower in the massive cult of personality, and you have no regard for truth, justice, or fairness. And it works both ways. Can Trump do any wrong in your eyes, you who claim to be on the right? Will your bias toward him and against the left allow you to see the wrong of a right-wing, Trump-led administration? In other words, does your bias allow you to think critically? Does it allow you to think morally? If not, you should be concerned. Very concerned. It's this kind of unfair bias that enables self-proclaimed feminist, leftist, and Hillary supporter Ashley Judd to say this about Trump.
I'm not as nasty as a man who looks like he bathes in Cheeto dust. A man whose words are a diss track to America. I'm not nasty like the combo of Trump and Pence being served up to me in my voting booth. And our pussies ain't for grabbing.
And yet she concludes this about the pervert Harvey Weinstein after giving her story about his disgusting display of sexual advances toward her.
Which is, as that's, his pattern of sexual predation. That was how he rolled. What I would say to Harvey is, I love you and I understand that you are sick and suffering. And there is help for a guy like you, too. And it's entirely up to you to get that help.
Why that kind of compassionate language for a guy who's been exposed for his sexual predation against women, including her, but her more harsh words are reserved for Trump, a guy who's never tried to sexually exploit her? I personally don't care if you're right or left. I don't have a dog in that fight. Who is Trump anyway? Who's Hillary? What's a Republican? What's a Democrat? Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are mere humans who have been elevated to a status that no human has the legitimate right to hold. They are not rightly your masters or mine. Now, there are a lot of people who wanted Hillary to be their leader. There are also a lot of people today who are glad that Trump is their leader. Question for you guys in Trump's corner. What if Trump lost? Would you really consider Hillary to be your leader because some majority you don't even know chose her to be a leader for you?
What difference at this point does it make?
Although you should know by now that the process of acquiring a president is not an election process by the people, but rather a selection process by the banking elite, the kingmakers who choose the figurehead who, one way or another, will do their bidding and not the bidding of the people. And if you don't believe that, then ask yourself why no president, Republican or Democrat, ever does anything about the banking cartel known as the Federal Reserve. Why is there never a move or a mention by any political leader to gradually move us back to a sound money system where the money masters can't manipulate the value of fiat currency? Why is there never an occupant in the Oval Office withdrawing us from our entangling alliances or putting a stop to all the war and bloodshed? Why hasn't a president intervened to seize all of our nation building that we can't afford in other countries? Why hasn't any president completely banned the insane, expensive, and disastrous drug war and stopped funding the military and prison industrial complexes? Why is there always an increase in transgenerational debt slavery known as the national debt? And why hasn't any president stopped the theft known as taxation? Year after year, we stand in line to vote for a different animal. And year after year, regardless of which animal sits in the office at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we end up with a bigger pile of shit. They don't have more power than you, do they? Sure, they have more money than we do, but does wealth elevate one man over another? Yes, power comes with the accumulation of wealth, but does that mean that because they're rich, they automatically have a higher claim over your life and property than you? Who are these people anyway? They're mere human beings like the rest of us.
Well, I can do this.
Ooh-ha! Ooh-ha!
Well, yeah, I can do this.
Ooh-ha!
Everybody sing. I doubt you're quite that good.
And yet they've somehow been elevated in the minds of the masses to be thought of as saviors of the human race. They even go so far as to call the US president the leader of the free world. How is it even possible for a human being to rise to such a status? How can we even rightly be called a free people? There are at least 5,000 federal criminal laws, with tens of thousands of regulations that can be enforced criminally. In fact, our entire criminal code has become a leviathan unto itself. In 2003, there were 4,000 offenses that carried criminal penalties. By 2013, that number had grown by 21% to 4,850.
What the hell did you just say?
The code has become so big that the Congressional Research Service and the American Bar Association simply don't have enough staff to adequately categorize every law we have on the books. That seems insane to me. No, actually, it is insane. More laws equals less freedoms, as every law, moral or immoral, is backed by the threat of force. Our country is divided, blinded by politics, lied to by money-sucking government agencies like NASA, dumbed down by mainstream media, hoodwinked by Hollywood, and strapped with a debt fastened on us by bloodthirsty bankers. A debt we'll never be able to repay. We're so divided and distracted that we can't even unite against the evils in our world that we need to unite against because our bias is so entrenched. We're so dug in that we're more concerned about being right and blasting the other side that we do so to the complete shunning of basic human morality. In the realm of character and morals, can you think of a class of people who are more bankrupt of morals and character than those who shamelessly call themselves politicians? And yet, a large portion of society, and I don't care if you're talking about American society, European, or whatever, a large portion of that society dumps vast amounts of time and resources into glorifying and almost deifying the most corrupt people on the planet as they're thrust by the masses into the limelight of political life. Think about this. Politicians, both left and right, create more laws each year which robs the freedom of individuals and fills the coffers of the state with your hard-earned money. So why the hell are we still involving ourselves in a system that makes us less free? Can't we come up with better options? I'm pretty sure we can. That brings me to the question I asked at the beginning of this video. How about we all stop taking political sides and start standing up for the greatest minority on the planet? Which minority is that? It's the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. And if we continue to let the powers that be divide and distract us, we individuals will never be able to make a positive change for truth, and the real criminals who are destroying us will continue to go free. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with others. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe and notification button and you'll be alerted when I upload new videos. Today's featured shirts are Protecting and Serving the Crap Out of You, Taxation is Legalized Theft, and Critical Thinking in Progress. Please stand by. Your $5 off promo code is in a link in the description for you for every shirt in the store. And don't forget to leave your thoughts for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yesterday's trash queen, save the blessing.